Hey everybody, welcome back to KimmelsIrishPub.com. Time for another movie review. Before I get into that, I want to thank everybody for their comments. It's great to hear from other people and keeps me wanting to do this. I mean, I like doing it, and if anybody is enjoying this and getting something out of it, I'm going to continue to do it. So I appreciate all the comments and everything like that. It's great to hear, and I like feedback, even constructive criticism. Even mockery. I don't care. It's great to hear from people. Anyway, back to tonight's movie. I'm very excited because last night I had some technical difficulties. I couldn't do it. Luckily, it was Thursday Night Football, so I got to watch a little bit of the Bengals, which was nice. But tonight's movie is Transformers: The Last Night. Now, this has been out since Tuesday, but it's a 2-hour and 26-minute movie, so it's better suited for the weekend, maybe a Friday, Saturday night, because it's a longer movie. Loved Transformers growing up. I owned Transformers. Couldn't wait. And I tell you what, the first and second Transformers, and had Shia LaBeouf in it, was excellent. And I love Marky Mark. I think he should probably play me when they make a movie about me. He's one of probably 5 actors that I think can do me justice. So the last one, though, was not that great, even though I like Mark Wahlberg. But hopefully this one's going to be a little bit better. And I'm going to get started here instead of babbling on, and I'll let you know how it's going. I'll check in a little bit. Alright, thanks. Hey everybody, time for a quick check-in. We're at the 41-minute and 58-second mark of Transformers: The Last Night. And it's a lot different than the first two. I think in the beginning I think it's more kid-friendly, which is great. You know, and it's leaning towards the kids, kind of like what they did with the Star Wars prequels with Jar Jar Binks, trying to make it more for the kids. I think that's my sense so far, and it's a lot different than what you're used to. If you watch the first two or the first couple, it's you know, now the Autobots and the Defendicons are all on Earth, and more are arriving, and it's kind of strange. The humor is different than it was in the first couple. And the reason I stopped it right here was, so one of the Decepticons, I think I called him a Defendicon before, I apologize. Decepticons is terrorizing some part of Earth, and he wants to get some of his other Decepticons out of jail or whatever he's in, and so they go out to meet him, to talk to him, and they take a lawyer. Now this is, you know, robots that turn into airplanes and guns and cars and stuff like that from a different planet, but they take not only a lawyer out to talk to this Decepticon, but they also set up tables. Like, it's in the middle of the desert. And they put these tables out there, and they line up these tables, and like 4 lawyers sit at the table, and the Decepticon comes down to say, I want Mohawk released. And then so Josh Drummel's in this again, and he turns and he looks, and they look up the Mohawk, and then they come back and say, yeah, okay, we can release him. Then they want the next guy, and the next guy did all this bad stuff. No, we can't release him. And then the Decepticon slams a sword on the ground and says, oh, we could be flexible. So it's so far not that great, I have to admit. Big fan of the Transformers. I love the cartoon. Like I said, I had the action figures. I love Shia LaBeouf in the first couple series, but now it's I don't know. It's not my cup of tea. But I'll keep watching it. Maybe I'll get better words to describe how I feel in the next check-in. But I'll start watching it again, and I'll be back. Oh, hey everybody. We're watching Transformers. It's a 1-hour and 19-minute and 48-second mark, and it's a snoozer for me. So I'm having a hard time following it. I might have had a couple of too many beers at happy hour, maybe. I don't know. But you know, they're fighting each other. I'm not sure why. I mean, obviously, bad versus evil, but Anthony Hopkins is in the movie, and now he kind of explained the whole backstory on why this is all happening, and it was hard to follow. The woman, the actress in it, is a descendant of Merlin, the sorcerer from medieval times, which is shown in the beginning, and So she's a direct descendant. And you know how they proved it? They brought out a book and they opened it up and there was her picture. So take that right there. She's a descendant of Merlin. And Marky Mark was given some kind of coin that wraps around his arm that makes him a knight of some sort, because he has good morals and stuff like that. I don't know. If you want to watch it, you'll figure that part out, but it is kind of a snooze fest for me. It's funny because the woman actress that's in it, I had to look her up, I forget her name, but she has black hair, dark hair, and blue eyes. So if you've seen the first couple of Transformers, you would recognize her as maybe the Megan Fox replacement. It's that. So I guess they try to get back to that and bring her in. She's a little bit older than Megan Fox, but same kind of look. So IMDb, I forgot to mention this earlier, so if you watched this far, I apologize, but IMDb gave this a 5.2, and Rotten Tomatoes, the critics gave it a 15%, and the users gave it a 47%. And I'm about halfway through this movie, and I kind of see why. I'm not enjoying it all that much, but I tell you what, I'm going to watch the end of it. 2 hour and 26 minute movie. I'm at the 1 hour and 19 minute mark, so I'm going to, rally for the finale here. Maybe I'll check in again if something ridiculous happens again, and I'll let you know, but if not, maybe I'll see you at the credits. Alright, thanks. Sorry, real quick, to add on to what I was just saying there, as Anthony Hopkins was telling the backstory of the Knights of the Round Table and Merlin, the sorcerer, and all that backstory stuff, they have the dramatic music going on, which kind of adds to it, and which is neat. But then, throughout this movie, there's been this C-3PO kind of transformer that has been recruiting or trying to get Marky Mark or Mark Wahlberg back to this castle so Anthony Hopkins can tell him what's going on. Well, when they come out of the story that he's telling in the flashbacks and stuff like that, this robot is playing on a huge organ in this thing. It's like him, and then Anthony Hopkins yelled at him, "Stop it!" So it's an attempt at humor, which is kind of off-putting for me. And then they go back to the story, and then next thing you know, there's this singing, this opera-type singing. Well, it's C-3PO again, singing. It's kind of ridiculous. But I forgot to tell you about that part, but I wanted to share with that. And hopefully there's no spoilers because, it's only the midpoint of the movie, but it wasn't really that funny. But they tried. Alright, I'm going to go back. Hey everybody, we're at the credits of Transformers, and it's finally over. Not much to add, based on my check-ins and everything like that. The older Megan Fox was still in the movie. A lot happened. There was a lot of action at the end. It was hard to follow. It wasn't very entertaining for me. Major disappointment. And I think part of the problem is because I really wanted to like it. Like I said from the beginning, I was a big fan of Transformers when I was younger. I liked the earlier movies, and this one was just not there for me. I mean, it was visually pleasing. I mean, there's a lot of good CGI in it, if you're into that. The plot line was odd. It was strange. Couldn't follow it. I just didn't like it at all. I think what I'm going to give it is, I want to give it a 5, but I think I'm being too harsh on giving it a 5 because I set my expectations too high. So I'm just going to give it a 6. I'm not going to recommend this to anybody. I was hoping maybe it might be something fun for kids to watch because it was geared towards kids, especially in the beginning. But 2 hours and 29 minutes, I don't think it's for kids. They would lose their attention, just like I lost mine. I don't think I have to go on anymore. Again, John Goodman was a voice of one of the Transformers, and Steve Buscemi. There's some redeeming values in that, I guess. But other than that, that's about it. Thank you. If you watched this far, I appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in to KimmelsIrishPub.com.